Hello there, welcome to NTV English News Bulletin. I am Bhavana Casey. In the beginning, we have the headlines. The 210th birth anniversary of Adikavi Bhanubhakta Acharya being marked today. Acharya's birthplace in Tanahu, Chudiramga, awaiting conservation. Putin says Western tanks priority target for Russia in Ukraine, warns Western weapons supply to Kiev only prolonging war and not changing the outcome. India condemns EU resolution on the ethnic clashes in Manipur, calls it an interference in its internal affairs. And Nepal playing against Pakistan A in its first match of the ACC Emerging Teams Asia Cup. 8 teams participating in the tournament underway in Sri Lanka. Welcome back. You're with NTV English News Bulletin. Now we have the news in details. The 210th birth anniversary of pioneer poet Adikavi Bhanubhakta Acharya is being celebrated today at home and abroad, organizing various programs. Born at Chudiramga in Tano district on Asar 29, 1871 BS, Acharya contributed immensely to unite the country through language, literature and culture by offering various literary creation. Acharya is highly honored for translating the epic Valmiki's Ramayana in the Nepali language. His other popular literary works include Prashnottar, Bhaktamala, Ram Gita and Badhu Shiksha. Meanwhile, a morning procession was organized to mark the birth anniversary of pioneer poet and national luminary Acharya in Kathmandu. A horse-drawn carriage with a mounted portrait of Bhanubhakta was paraded around the major thoroughfares of Kathmandu on the occasion. Meanwhile, the birthplace of Adikavi Bhanubhakta Acharya in Chudiramga of Tanohu is awaiting conservation. The house belonging to Adikavi Bhanubhakta Acharya, which was reconstructed after it was burnt, has now turned into ruins. Locals have complained that the authorities are doing little to protect and renovate the building. The building was built by Adikavi Bhanubhakta Birthplace Development Committee under the Department of Tourism of the Ministry of Culture, Tourism and Civil Aviation. A master plan to build physical structures, residences, canteen, library, toilets and other physical structures within the area of about 10 ropanis of land was drafted. However, the premises has been left unattended. The local residents have been demanding the materials related to Bhanubhakta Acharya should be preserved and his home must be developed as a literary destination. Politicians, representatives from diplomatic missions in Nepal and people from different walks of life continue to pour condolences over the demise of Sita Dahal, the spouse of Prime Minister Pushpa Dahal. The Prime Minister's Secretariat has stated that the visitors have expressed sympathies to the bereaved family and demise of Sita Dahal. The Prime Minister's Secretariat has fixed time from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. to those visiting Balwatar to offer condolences on demise of Sita Dahal. Prime Minister Pushpa Dahal, meanwhile, has postponed his official engagements until July the 15th to mourn the loss of his spouse, Sita Dahal. Sita Dahal passed away on Wednesday morning at Norwich Hospital in Thapatali. With this update, time to go for a short break, but still to come we have. Welcome back now to more updates. A bus accident at Dasdunga along the Narangat-Mugling Road section early this morning has left 19 people injured. The incident occurred at 5:20 a.m. when the bus entered to Kathmandu from Kakarvita of Chapa met with an accident. The bus carrying approximately 40 passengers lost control and plunged 10 meters off the road, police said. 18 injured individuals are receiving treatment in various hospitals in Chitwan district, while one person has been referred to Kathmandu for further treatment. The schools in Sunsari have been shut down after the parts of district have been inundated following the incessant rainfall since few days. Mayor Hemkarna Podel, Mayor of Ithari Sub-Metropolitan City, Hemkarna Podel, said such instructions have been issued as it became impossible to run the classes due to the continuous rainfall. Ithari of Sunsari, Letang of Morang and places around Harecha have witnessed heavy rainfall since past few days. Department of Hydrology and Meteorology has predicted of more rainfall in coming days. The forecasting division also has issued a warning about the high risk of sudden floods in Budikola, Kheslia, Sunsarikola, Lohandra and other rivers that flows along Sunsari and Morang districts. The division has also urged people living in the flood-prone and inundation-prone areas to exercise vigilance. Now to the international updates. Foreign-made tanks are a priority target for Russian forces in Ukraine. Russian President Vladimir Putin has said, and the supply of Western weaponry to Kiev will not change the course of the war. Putin, in comments to state television on Thursday, also reaffirmed his stance that Ukraine's membership in NATO would threaten Russia's security, while the provision of Western arms had only escalated global tensions further and prolonged the conflict. Putin's comments came as U.S. President Joe Biden said on Thursday that Russia had already lost the war in Ukraine and expressed hope that the ongoing, though slow-moving counter-offensive by Ukrainian forces would push Moscow to the negotiation table. More updates lined up on the other side, but before that, let's have the highlights first. Welcome back. Now to more updates. India has condemned a European Parliament resolution on the ethnic clashes in Manipur state, calling it interference in its internal affairs. More than 130 people have been killed in the violence in the northeastern state, which broke out in May. Tens of thousands have been displaced because of the clashes and have been forced to live in temporary shelters. The resolution called the violence a result of divisive policies promoting Hindu majoritarism. It came as Indian Prime Minister Modi arrived in France on a two-day visit on Thursday. He was conferred with the Grand Cross of the Legion of Honor, France's highest civilian honor. The foreign ministers of Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, reaffirmed their position that the five-point consensus remains their main reference to address the ongoing political crisis in Myanmar. They also strongly condemned the continued acts of violence, including airstrikes, artillery shelling, and destruction of public facilities. ASEAN's top diplomats are in Jakarta this week for its annual foreign ministers and related meetings, which Indonesia is hosting as the current chair of the group. On the sidelines of the meeting this week, Thailand's foreign minister Don Pramudwini told reporters that he met Aung San Suu Kyi on Sunday, her first known meeting with a foreign envoy since he was detained. Hollywood actors are going on a strike, joining a stoppage by screenwriters to usher in the industry's biggest shutdown in more than 60 years. The Screen Actors Guild wants streaming giants to agree a fairer split of profits and better working conditions. Some 160,000 performers will stop work at midnight. Star Cillian Murphy, Matt Damon and Emily Blunt left the premiere of Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer in London as the strike began. You're watching NTV English News Bulletin. More updates lined up on the other side, but before that, let's have the highlights first. Now to sports. Nepal is playing against Pakistan A in its first match of the ACC Men's Emerging Teams Asia Cup 2023. In the match underway at Colombo Club Cricket Ground of Sri Lanka, Nepal so far has scored 116 runs with loss of 8 wickets in 24 overs so far. Nepal, winning the toss, had opted to bat first against Pakistan A. The tournament, comprising 8 teams of 5 test-playing countries alongside associates Nepal, Oman and UAE, is being hosted by Sri Lanka. Nepal have been placed in Group B of the tournament alongside India A, the UAE A and Pakistan A. and power to reach the second Grand Slam final of her career. Well, with this update, we come to the end of this English News Bulletin. But before we say goodbye, let's have a quick reminder of the major stories. 210th birth anniversary of Adikavi Bhanubhakta Acharya being marked today. Acharya's birthplace in Chudi, Ramga awaiting conservation. Putin says Western tanks priority target for Russia, and Ukraine warns Western weapons supply to Kiev only prolong war and not change its outcome. India condemns EU resolution on the ethnic clashes in Manipur, calls it an interference in its internal affairs. And Nepal playing against Pakistan A in its first match of the ACC Emerging Teams Asia Cup. 8 teams participating in the tournament underway in Sri Lanka. That's all we have in this edition of English News Bulletin. I'll see you again with next round of English Bulletin at 6 in the evening. Till then, have a great time ahead and do stay tuned with us to catch the latest news updates and other programs. Namaste.